going on, everybody? My name is Jackson McCarthy. I am a pre-med student athlete, and just how we start every video, glory be to God and our Lord Jesus Christ. Today I want to talk to you about 5 college essentials. And now when I mean essentials for me, and I think that you guys could really profit from them. Let's get right into it. Now, quick disclaimer, you are probably going to need a computer, so if you want to count that as essential number 1, probably a good idea. Colleges, med schools, high schools, a lot of things are done digitally now, so you're probably going to need a laptop and or computer anyways. But even if you have to go to the library to use a computer, a lot of this stuff will still work. So number 1, something to handwrite notes. So there are a couple different ways that you can do this. One, a lot of people use a rudimentary notebook. That is completely fine, but it is super important that you have something to handwrite, because there have been plenty of studies out there that shows that our retention and our understanding is deepened when we have something that we can actually handwrite. Me personally, I use an iPad. I use actually a really big iPad. This is a refurbished one that you can get relatively cheap at Walmart. Other people like to use the Remarkable, which is a paper thin electronic notebook. It's really nice. I use GoodNotes. GoodNotes is my way of actually taking notes on my iPad. That's the app I actually use. The thing about GoodNotes that I think is awesome is that you can easily flip back and forth between documents if you need to. You can erase super easily. You can move things around. You can copy and paste. And especially with the platform that my school uses for assignments, it is super easy to upload immediately right from the app. Remarkable, I think you're gonna have to do a couple different workarounds, but that's a more paper, lightweight feel if that's something that you like. It also has a really nice matte feel. I tried it a little bit. Just me personally, I liked the utility that an iPad has to offer. For number 2, Anki. Anki is one of the best kept secrets I think that I've really heard. The only reason that I stumbled upon it was because I'm going to be using it for my MCAT prep. I think if I had it way earlier in undergrad, it would have made a world of difference. Now, flashcards are one of the best ways that you can study because it has that built-in testing feature. The thing about Anki is it is completely free and it has a built-in spaced repetition formula. It increases retention with half the time. The thing about Anki is you can have an unlimited amount of cards. You can have pre-made decks. I will be doing an Anki tutorial later on when I go through my MCAT prep. But for right now, all you need to know is that you can either click it as good, easy, hard, however you designate that card, it's going to register with the program and it will decide how many times you need to view it. Now, if you look at me scrolling through, I haven't studied a little bit because I had a couple of tests in the past that I was studying for, but now it's been a pretty quiet period and I haven't really started studying for my MCAT. A lot of this can be utilized when you have tests coming up or well before that. Number 3, a task planner or program. Now, a lot of people, if you want to continue with the digital, Notion is great, or you can use some other platforms that are out there. A lot of times it's very easy for you to just check stuff off and they can sync to different programs. Me personally, I am a paper person for just a normal calendar / planner for actual assignments. Again, when you're handwriting things, your retention becomes better and you tend to memorize things a little bit better and more often. And so I use that technique, especially when I'm writing in assignments. It is super easy to remember things when you have to physically write them and you're checking it constantly. For me personally, some things get lost in the shuffle if it's online because I have so many tabs open, so many things going on that I can overlook assignments a little too easily. So I like to have a physical copy to remind me. Notion is a great program. That's the one that most people that I know use. And it has great AI companionship. That will lead us into number 4, an active Google Calendar or an active calendar. Again, some people like to do all of their things handwritten. That's what I like to do for my assignments, but not necessarily when I have events. Now, the reason that I use Google Calendar is because it syncs very well with my class schedule through the system that my college uses. However, it'll also set reminders for things. You can use this for assignments, you can use this for events. I use it mostly, again, for events. The cool thing about Google Calendar is that it'll sync into our 5th and final essential, so stick around so you can see that. But Google Calendar is a very clean, easy, precise way to stay on top of everything. Make sure you get to everything on time, and this is super important when you're in college because you need to know when your class schedules are, when you're meeting with professors and office hours, when you have projects, etc., etc., etc. And it is super, super easy. It's very intuitive. You can sync multiple Google accounts to it. I have about 4 different Google accounts that I use for various things, and they all connect to the same calendar, and I can have them color-coded for whatever I need. And Google Calendar, for me personally, I just like how it integrates really well. In the fifth and final college essential that is brand new and is becoming more and more vital, especially in 2026, is an AI companion. Especially a lot of generations know about ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of these different AI chatbots. I personally was always against AI for the longest time because I always viewed it as a way for people to cheat super easily, but I was neglecting all of the firepower that it can bring to actually help my understanding. I love to use Gemini because A, it syncs right with my Google Calendar, so I can put events in by having a quick conversation. It'll sync right up into my phone. The biggest leverage that I figured out that Gemini can do is I can upload any of my resources that I'm going to be tested on. So if I have a PDF of a book from a class, or if I have just a note sheet of PDFs that I made, put it right into Gemini and I can say, make me a quiz. I need to study this material. I need a certain amount of questions, focus on certain things, and I want you to source back to the PDF and show me exactly where you're getting. Later on, I will be doing a full MCAT tutorial about how I use AI to help study for my MCAT to make it most comprehensive as possible. The awesome thing about an AI companion is when used correctly, it can completely game change your learning, because you can use a lot of the science backed by multiple studies, papers, whatever it may be, into your regimen and have it be automated with your AI companion. I can have spaced out repetition quizzes. As soon as I go in, I can make sure that Gemini remembers all of our conversations so they know what I did, what I didn't do, what I have coming up, where I struggled, have me revisit the quizzes. It can pretty much do whatever I tell it to, and it's completely free as well. And so I think that's one of the biggest and most undersold things when it comes to college essentials. However, a lot of people like to abuse this and just type in whatever worksheet they have, whatever reading they have, and says, hey, give me the answer. That's not going to do any good because you're just wasting money for a college degree if you're not really learning anything. I think the key part is that it's supposed to be a companion. It is not supposed to do the work for you. And a quick number six, find a good, quick academic friend group as you're starting college. Find people that are in your similar major, that you jive with, that you think are really cool, or just good people to be around. Because even though this is a bonus, it's not really an essential. A lot of times I learn way better from my peers and colleagues who are learning it with me than actually going to teachers sometimes. Because when a teacher's trying to explain things to you, they already know it, so they're not really breaking it down, expecting you to just kind of figure out what they're saying. When you have to learn from a colleague or from a friend or other students, they have to break it down in a way that would help them understand if they were in the same position. A lot of people are very good at teaching other people when they have a good foundational element when they just learned something. Me personally, I like to have a study group and we pretty much go back and forth teaching each other material that helps with our own retention. It will help your other classmates figure out how to learn things much quicker. That today is my quick 5 college essentials. I think everybody can utilize these if you have the proper resources. There are workarounds in every scenario, and a lot of them might be pretty straightforward and kind of like duh moments, but it's all about how you use them. These are the specific ones that I recommend. These are what I use, and it has helped me stay well above board as I apply to medical school. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Doesn't really matter. Appreciate you watching. See ya.